I recording? All right, we're getting this countdown together. All right, in five, four, three, two, and one. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan. And in today's society in the United States of America, voting is critical, and putting the right people in the right places is critical as well. I know that for me, I do vote. And I know my family's always taught me voting makes a difference. And also, with voting, you hold people accountable and you put your words to action. We're here at the Logan Power Show. We take no bias in who we interview, but I was fortunate enough to get one of my first time guests at the Logan Power Show. He's running for South Carolina Senate, number 39, the one and only Mr. Vernon Stevens. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, sir.
Good to have you here in the Logan Power Show. So the biggest thing we always got to ask people all the time, the Logan Power Show, um, South Carolina Senate 39. What does that area cover? Who would you be representing?
I will be representing portions of Orangeburg County, Calhoun County, Dorchester County, Colleton County, and Berkeley County. There's 5 counties in the state of South Carolina, and the majority of those counties are rural.
Gotcha. Actually, your rural areas, Dorchester, Berkeley County, definitely is a lot of rural areas, but a lot of vast money. Definitely Orangeburg as well. Um,
Yeah.
what do you, if you're given the opportunity to run and win, what would you want to see accomplished? What do you want to get done, given the opportunity in your first term in South Carolina?
Well, my focus have been through a lifetime of community activism. I served as a school board member for approximately 18 years. So education has always been at the forefront of my agenda. Education, community development, infrastructure, upgrades, and but education is forefront for me as I look at the changing of South Carolina and I look at how we are creating jobs and bringing industry into the state of South Carolina. We must have a workforce that is ready and able to compete on a global market. As we look at skills that are required by a number of our companies, we have to focus our attention on our technology centers, as well as assuring that not only pre-K through 12 is funded adequately by our state government, but also higher education, our technical colleges, as well as our four-year colleges. Well, that is where our children, and as well as some of our adults, uh, acquire those skills to successfully become uh, good citizens, as well as uh, money bearers, or you however you want to call it, being able to take care of their families.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Now, we know that the areas that you have, Berkeley County, Dorchester County, rural areas, Orangeburg, some of the biggest problems um, is not like the students can't do it. It's not like we can't make a difference. Education is key. The biggest problem that we have is broadband service. Due to the
Yes,
fact
sir.
with COVID-19, we got to be honest. It's hard to say the kids can do the work based off the lack of resources. We know with certain internet providers are not able to come out to those rural areas. So education, as we know now, how this roller coaster ride with COVID-19 is coming, it's going to be kind of hard to actually have 30 people in the classroom. We got to spread them out. So things may change. So some people may be forced to either be doing homeschooling. So internet is pivotal. So since you say you're education is one of your main goals, how would you be able to sort of bridge that gap? Because broadband service is not easy. It's not easy due to the fact, like, for if you have the satellite, satellite's great, but it's hit or miss. If you got any kind of weather, inclement weather, things can impact the service, and the things that are giving kids to take home requires high speed internet. So what were some things you would try to do to help fix that there if given the opportunity, sir?
And you did mention broadband,
Yes,
and
sir.
thank you for that. Orangeburg County initiated broadband incorporated into the rural portions of Orangeburg County, specifically the Bowman, Branchfield area. And we have on the agenda to go down farther into the eastern portion of Orangeburg County, into the Holly Hill, the Utahville, Vance, Providence area. Uh, the trunk lines are being installed. Hopefully, in another year or so, we can venture out. But in the interim, we must have communication with cable companies and asking them and coming together with them to get them to understand that we need these type of services in our rural communities. Uh, there's a concept that I fortunate to be a part of about 4 years ago when I attended a National School Board conference. And it was about equipping our school buses with Wi-Fi and bringing those buses and no longer parking them at the schools, but actually parking them in the respective communities strategically so that they can send out Wi-Fi signals to the different communities. And I think that concept is catching on now. As you know, we did that throughout the state of South Carolina during our pandemic. So there's opportunities, but there's still roads and there's still a lot of paperwork, a lot of action by county council, by town council, the state of South Carolina, in cooperation with USDA and the Federal Communication Commission. And again, I had the distinct privilege of advocating before in DC to USDA officials on getting funds into our rural communities that would help with technology. And one of the hindrances to what we were trying to do in our communities, a lot of our communities, is our low and moderate income status or index. A lot of our communities have not been, I won't say treated right, but we missed the boat when we did not do our census correctly and everybody was counted. And when you only get a smidgen of the population, and that population has income that is greater than 50 to 60,000, you can about bet there will not be, that community would not be eligible for grants. And when you're dealing with USDA and other governmental entities, you have to show that your LMI, your high percentage of your constituents or your citizens are poor and don't meet the medium income level to require to say that they are eligible for grants.
Got it. Understandable. And for those that don't know what Mr. Stevens is talking about, the U.S. Census of 2010 that we just had about 10 years ago, um, that impacts what's been going these past 10 years. The 2020 census that we're doing now, why is it so important? Is because it's not trying the government trying to figure out like where you are, where you're located. It's how to allocate those funds um, respectively. Like, give an example, if you are in a house and say, for instance, there's two people supposedly be there, but there's five or six or seven, then that means that there's more individuals that's there. So that's something that I would tell people right now, that that's why it's so important to fill out that census and moving forward. So what I would what I would recommend is that we definitely want to make sure fill out your census for 2020. Let's make a difference there. Let's make an impact. So education, you talk about going to broadband, put that on the docket. It's going to take a year. We have the Wi-Fi buses. Which is, let's be honest, is limited. It's not like say it's gonna be there 24/7. So it's gotta be, it's a certain time frame. Now, how are we gonna be able to get those parents motivated to come out to the buses? Because with anything with Wi-Fi, um, it's not gonna say like, hey, if I park it in the middle of this parking lot, then everybody in the building is gonna get it. That's not gonna be the case, because Wi-Fi connection um is so strong. But what are some things that do you want to see, like, to help motivate the community? Because a lot of times what we do is we forget our
Yes.
rural communities. We focus on big city, but we don't focus on rural communities, which rural communities I know are the fueling fire to keep the big cities going, to keep the economy spinning in the right direction. So what are some things you want to see to get that fuel going, to get the people energized, to make it like they're not forgotten if you're given the
Mhm.
opportunity?
Well, first of all, let's be for real. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. There are many organizations, many forums that exist throughout our communities that will help in getting information out into our respective communities. For example, I serve as chairman of the the Concerned Citizens of Legislative District number 66. That encompasses all of the eastern portion of Orangeburg County and a portion of the city of Orangeburg. We meet every first Sunday at 3:30. At that meeting, we have Senator Matthews, Representative Gillicoff Hunter, Chairman of County Council, members of County Council, members of Town Council, members of school boards, members of individuals who are organized or who have been selected as committee persons of the different committees throughout the county. We ask, and we have these meetings monthly to enlighten our citizens of what's actually coming down the pipe, whether or not it's coming from Washington, D.C., from the office of Representative Clyburn, or it's coming down from the State House from Senator Matthews, Representative Gillicoff Hunter. These meetings are crucial. These meetings are critical. And we need to continue to have these meetings, but we need to have them all throughout the district. And I'm doing my working throughout the district campaigning, I found out that these type of meetings do not happen, do not occur. And between those type of meetings, NAACP, Concerned Citizens, and the greatest one is our faith-based community, our churches. The legacy of the success of African Americans into government jobs, into political office has been through by the Black church. And there seemed to be a renaissance from the Black church that we need to reach out to our community. We need to have meetings with our parishioners on things that are affecting them daily. So yes, we have to, and we will go back, and we will continue to have meetings of sort that will help our citizens to understand and to bring them to a point where they feel as though they can ask questions and be a part of the decision-making process. One of the things that I always tell folks, you may attend a school board meeting, you may attend conference, county council meetings. You can only ask a question. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to give you an answer because they're going to send that answer to you. But if you go to an NAACP meeting or a concerned citizen meeting where those elected officials are there, they are going to answer your question. So forums throughout our communities is a must, and that is one of the means by which we will get information out to the citizens of District 39 or the state of South Carolina.
Amen. Amen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, Mr. Vernon Stevens for South Carolina State 39. November is the time that we have to vote. If you're in this particular area, definitely it's a man you want to think about. We at the Logan Power Show, we can't tell you who to vote for, but we put people in front of you who are willing to interview with us and give us an opportunity to let them speak their piece. Uh, Final thought. Someone's listening, sir. It's in your district. Someone is listening, saying like, "Hey, I don't know who to choose. Why should they choose you?" The floor is yours.
I am a proven leader. For 40 years, I have been a community activist. I've served in many capacities, from church to school to the Lower Savannah Council of Government, Concerned Citizens, NAACP, Board of Directors of CDCs, and I've been out there in my community, in communities throughout Orangeburg County in the state of South Carolina. I have advocated in Columbia. I have advocated in the District of Columbia. So I have been out there beating the bushes, out there with the average person in the state of South Carolina, the, the middle class in the state of South Carolina, the rich in the state of South Carolina. I know, I understand what is needed by the different communities. And I believe with my connection with those individuals who I've dealt with and been dealing with in the past and as president dealing with, I feel as though I have the qualifications, I have the tenacity, I have the drive, I have the dedication, and I have the commitment to assure that the voice of the constituents of the District 39 will be heard, as well as the citizens of the state of South Carolina. So with that being said, I humbly ask all citizens of Senate District number 39 on Tuesday, June the 23rd, 2020, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., please vote Vernon Stevens. Thank you.
Hey, amen. So in June 23rd, time to vote for Mr. Vernon Stevens. Give him an opportunity. Hey, this is all the time I got. My name is Calvin, the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you soon.